Anna, who wants to remain anonymous, says it was only when she had her second child outside of prison that she realised just how awful her care was inside prison when she was pregnant with her first child.
I had appointments that had been missed, like I had a scan that was coming up. Ended up missing that a couple of times because they never had the staff to take me. Eventually was taken through the front of the hospital in handcuffs. And obviously when I went into labour, I had, it was early hours in the morning, I'd pressed my cell bell, nobody came, pressed it another 3-4 times, nobody came.
She says she was let out at the same time as the other prisoners, and when called, the ambulance had to wait an hour to get into the prison, and Anna was handcuffed to an officer when she gave birth.
No birth behind bars! No birth behind bars! No birth behind bars!
This, a recent vigil outside the Ministry of Justice to remember the anniversary of the death of Aisha Cleary, a baby who died at birth in custody. Her mother was on her own in her cell because no one came when she called for assistance. An ombudsman report into the death, published in 2022, not only criticised the care of Aisha's mother, but made a wider conclusion that all pregnancies in prison should be treated as high risk by virtue of the fact that the woman is locked behind a door for a significant amount of time. Campaigners say it therefore follows that any prison sentence to a pregnant woman is also a sentence to a high-risk pregnancy and a threat to their baby.
The evidence is really stark. Pregnant women in prison are 7 times more likely to suffer a stillbirth, twice as likely to give birth to a premature child that needs special intensive care. And ultimately, the long-lasting trauma on a mother and a child is devastating.
Susie was imprisoned on remand awaiting trial while heavily pregnant.
Well, I got a lot hungrier and they told me that they wouldn't provide me with more food and I didn't have a pregnancy mattress. So I feel like as you gain more weight, like your body is pressing into the bed and you spend an awful lot of time in your room.
Under current guidance, judges may consider pregnancy when sentencing, but it's not an obligation. The Ministry of Justice told us custody is always the last resort for women, and independent judges already consider mitigating factors like pregnancy when making sentencing decisions. We have made significant improvements to the support available for pregnant women in custody. This includes employing specialist mother and baby liaison officers in every women's prison, conducting additional welfare checks, and stepping up screening and social services support. But stories such as that of baby Aisha will inform the Sentencing Council's decision due next month on whether pregnancy should be a greater mitigating factor. Others will argue it shouldn't be an excuse for offenders to avoid prison. Jason Farrell, Sky News.